Father and our God, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we want to thank you for the opportunity, King of Glory, to minister at this level and in this forum. We pray that you may guide our discussions this evening, that it may be able, God Almighty, to reach and impact people the way you have purposed. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Hello and welcome to our discussions today. It is an initiative of Pcea Nkoroi, a psychosocial support program to create awareness on current issues affecting humanity. My panelist today on the right is KIMATA, who is a counseling psychologist with Joe's Consulting Center, Ongatorongai. Welcome, Jane.
Thank you.
On my left is Dr. NGANGA, who is a lecturer and also a consultant clinical psychologist. Karibu sana, Daktari. Our topic today is how COVID-19 has affected the family generally. And we roll off with our first issue, Jane, to you. What fears has this COVID caused to the family?
Well, thank you. Surely there is a lot of fear because of COVID-19. And one of the major fears that we are experiencing is that there is fear of death. People believe COVID comes with death. And there's a lot of fear, and nobody would like really to die. So the moment we hear somebody is infected with COVID, we are imagining that is already a death sentence. And so that is one of the fears. The other fear is that we are fearing getting infected. So there's a lot of fear to the level where we don't want to visit hospitals because we think that is where highly the rate of infection can be very high, which may be true or not. So you find somebody who is sick, they are not even visiting hospitals. They would rather they buy medicine from a pharmacist and go back home. That is a fear of infection. Even when you are sitting together, as much as we are maintaining the distance,
we still fear each other.
We are still fearing each other, and especially men, because we are hearing the rates of infection on men are very high.
Watch out.
So there is a lot of fear for infection, and the other fear is the fear for stigmatization. Hey, and especially what we have been seeing with COVID. There's a lot of stigma. Anybody who has ever gotten this disease, it's like the olden days.
It's a social reject.
Yes, it's a social reject. It's like the olden days. I hear people who suffered from leprosy. They would be set apart for some time, and then they would go for cleansing. So these days, it has gone back to that. And that fear of stigmatization is even the worst. In the sense that you imagine if you go somewhere and they say that you're infected, your whole family is going to be taken by an ambulance. And the ambulance will be noticed by everybody because the silence
the family has been wiped out.
A lot of stigmatization. So that's another fear.
Doctor, what do you have to say?
In addition to that, there's also another fear we are observing where people who have been left behind because the parents or the caregivers have been put into quarantine. The remaining relatives are unable to, or rather they fear taking care of the children who have been left behind, or those who are vulnerable in the sense that they are disabled, because they fear that they too could be infected. Another fear that has gripped people is the fear of loss of income and earnings, loss of employment, loss of businesses closing down, and therefore their livelihoods have also been impacted.
Thank you very much. Now, what on that, Dr. Nganga? Has COVID-19 affected us in our movements, and in which ways?
In a big way. This is something that had not been precedented in the past. That people are being now monitored. The curfew has come to clamp our movement, the freedom of movement, such that we are supposed to be home by a certain time, meaning that all your businesses that you were transacting earlier either going to be left halfway done or should not be started off.
24/7 is out.
Yes, others have been affected by the lockdown and the cessation of movement. Some of us who have relatives, maybe spouses or children, who are locked away from home, cannot access home. And there's a fear of trying to understand their safety and
Yes.
their well-being.
Oh dear.
The others who are also overseas, the ones who had trouble to come, some have didn't even bought their air tickets. But
They had.
the airplane, the travel industry had been locked down, and therefore they cannot move. And all the worries of what is their safety when they are out there
It is a big concern.
It's a big concern to the
Indeed,
family.
indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim,
Yes, please.
how is the movement being affected?
Yeah, we are getting affected. Actually, there are many cases of couples who have been separated from their spouse because of the period when we were told that these particular people cannot move from this section to the
Right.
other. They had gone to visit somewhere. And that has created a lot of anxiety in the couples, in the sense that there are those insecurities where you wonder, has my husband been alone for all these 3 months now? Has my wife been alone for all these 3 months? So it is I would say a husband cannot be alone also.
Let's go on.
So we find that this has created a lot of insecurities, and they are wondering how they can be able to monitor each other from afar, and yet it has already taken place. How about children? So you may find that the one that was left with with the children at that particular time may have been the husband, who is not even used to taking care of children. So it is becoming really a big issue for him. Or it could be that the mother had gone with the children and they are locked away from the father. And I know how especially girls love their fathers. So you can imagine what they are telling the mother every day. So issues can be many when it comes to separation of couples and children from their parents.
Our movement to see our old parents.
Oh, yes, that one.
Particularly people who are locked down in the towns. They cannot go up country to see their parents.
That is it. And you note that some of our parents are very vulnerable. Some of them are sick. Yeah. They need a supply of some medicine on monthly basis or on weekly basis. So the situation is becoming really difficult, but all the same, we have to obey what the government is telling us. Yes. Yes.
From the chambers.
Oh, yes.
If they are out of the boundary.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, you could mention something about the impact it has had on finance.
Yes. Well, financially, people have been really affected. We have seen some businesses closing up completely. In the sense that the people feel that this particular thing, like I wouldn't say all of them have closed, but I'm looking at a business like the selling of cars and other properties. How many people at this point are able to go and purchase such? Could be very few. And so those people have been running a car yard which is on hire, could be they are leased the land, and they need to pay the workers plus even the money that they had spent to bring the cars into the nation. So those people are suffering because their businesses are not doing well, and this is their sole source of income. We have also found others whose salaries have been reduced. Reduction of salary has really affected people, 50%, even 30%. And you find instead of you losing the job completely, you are better off with the 30% than lack of it. And back at home, are we understanding that the sole breadwinner is no longer earning what he used to earn? Or are we still demanding to be done the things that we used to do, some of them which are luxuries, even at this time when the salary has reduced? Not to forget that there are those who have also completely lost a job. And they've been told, and especially I understand, that the teachers who teach in private schools, majority of them are not earning a thing, yet they have families, they have bills to clear, and so this one has become a really major issue in the family, and with the fear. You note that they can also even not go back to their home countries because they are blocked.
I had in mind people like the hoteliers, the public transport, and whose business came to a grinding halt, John?
There's a lot that happened, especially in the area of tourism, where hotels have closed down.
Yes.
People went home.
Yes.
And these are people with families.
Yes.
So one wonders what is going on in such families. There's a lot of family upheavals have resulted due to loss of employment. But I also want to think that debts are also increasing. House rents are going unpaid.
True.
Shops have not been settled, some bills.
And
And all these are issues that are still pending post-COVID-19 era. So these are problems that are coming up, and we must learn how to go about it. But the most interesting thing that is coming up now is that people are living in denial and don't want to adjust. Instead of scaling down to the new normal, they still want to live at the past, which is not forthcoming. And that is causing a lot of tensions in the family.
So what would people do in this case, John?
One is to accept the present. Live in the present and readjust your spending patterns to fit in the new income bracket. Scale down operations and plan for the little money that one has so that you can be able to address the most essentials, the needs, but not the wants.
So no more dinners for you outside?
I can imagine.
No more going to the hotels over the weekend?
We will miss those moments.
Oh.
Even for the beauty parlor. There's a lot of things that our ladies are doing at the beauty salon can be done at home. Except for shaving our hair.
Oh. We still can do with some.
Now that is where I come in. Why don't you guys buy the machines we'll be shaving you from home?
Oh, keep it up. Let it grow.
No. Because what is the motivation about going to the kinyozi doctor?
We don't have to be shaved, do we?
No. Supposing we do it at home, the same way you expect us women to do it at home. Okay. Supposing we start working on yours also at home.
Okay, we shall look at that. I can see we have a discussion on that one, whether we should shave or not.
Yes.
But I would like to hear something about how this affects family relationship.
In a big way.
Yes.
Families have been impacted. One, especially because of the cessation of transport, we are seeing spouses who are separated. And therefore, there's a lot of issues about suspecting what one is doing out there where we are not being able to see. Again, with the reduction of income and when we are not becoming very honest about our where money has gone, is the issue of wondering whether I'm not supporting another family outside this family. So all these issues have been brought about by this. But I think also the issue of communication has has come up very, very clearly, where we are seeing that there is a challenge in how we communicate issues within the family. And this has generated a lot of violence in the family.
Yes, domestic violence. Yes.
Because of very, very simple misunderstandings that would have been resolved otherwise. And also the long hours that people are spending together at home. Because people are working from the house maybe, or at times we can't go to work because the place is closed down. So these long hours of relating at home we are able to see what we were not being able to see in the past.
A man being in the house the whole day, Monday to Sunday. As a matter of fact, there's no Sunday. All days are the same. All the days are. And this is a man who was hardly seen in that place.
Oh yes. We are happy.
And the girl who like to go and do baby showering and so forth, and now she has to remain in the house.
I would say we are happy to have our men back home.
Oh, you're not happy with the men in their homes?
No, when they go so much, that creates a lot.
You have no breathing space.
Yes, a lot of suspicion.
The problem is the demands that come along with being there all the time. You want this, you want the other, and I cannot provide.
And there's no money. And the man has lost his ego.
That is it.
And yet the demands are there.
And I'm worried about if I spend the little money that I have, when is the next money coming in? Supply of money. And nobody seems to be wanting to listen to the other on how best we can be able to spend this money.
And therefore, that's a communication problem.
Indeed.
Can you expand on that?
Communication, especially where we are not being able to be open to one another, and where we are not listening to when the other person is talking, because I'm already occupied with the things that I want done and are not doing. True. And I'm trying to raise an issue that perhaps we can delay this for another moment. We have clashes in terms of prioritizing things. Some of us will not be able to be very, very clean, but we'll be able to throw blame and allocate blame to one another. And we're not communicating at that time because we are blaming one another for the shortcomings that are there. Communication issues we are seeing is that people sometimes go mute and they keep quiet. And in as much as we acquired this non-verbal communication, I will read from the gestures. This person is annoyed, or this person is rude to me. And again, that provokes.
But there's non-speakable communication.
Exactly.
Yes.
That non-verbal communication
Non-verbal.
is that is causing tension already in a very, very tensed environment.
How do you do with that? Non-verbal. As a woman.
That non-verbal thing, we call it kneel by mouth. The kneel by mouth element is usually a torture to the mind for anybody.
And particularly to ladies.
Even to ladies, even to you gentlemen.
Men can be quiet for a week.
Oh my.
Can you?
As we keep quiet also, depending on, there's this thing that I say, attitude begets attitude.
Yes.
So if you keep quiet and you're not talking to me, definitely I'll keep quiet because there is no other option.
So communication.
I cannot continue to talk to somebody who is not talking. So we find that communication has been affected. And why communication? Because emotionally we have been hurt. We are suffering emotionally. And we are looking for a way through which we can vent out our emotions.
Yeah.
And the best way we can do it is by, we decide, let us keep quiet so that nobody notices that I'm not happy. Then some of them do that.
Yes.
Others will communicate, but very aggressively. You just ask for a cup of tea and somebody is asking you, ile ulipika? That is very aggressive. So you find the person is already bitter with other issues, but they want to pour it out on the wrong person, could be. Or you could be the right person because you may have annoyed them. But instead of addressing the actual issue, they are talking about it on the tea issue. Issue is not the tea.
It's just the let out. It's just the escape route.
Yeah, they're just running away from the reality.
Yes.
So those are the issues that we are finding in communication, where there is a lot of aggression when it comes to communication, verbally. And now, the non-verbal communication which is given also, it can tell you a lot. And it is high time we started to study non-verbal communication.
Yes.
Because that is a communication that is very, very crucial. 80% of communication is non-verbal communication. 80%.
Non.
Gestures,
Gestures, expressions. You find somebody
A
stepping
smile,
on you.
a wink.
A wink, a smile.
communicates a lot.
Oh, it communicates better than verbal.
Yes.
Yes, it communicates better than verbal. So we need to be very observant so that when you find that the people that you are living in the family with, they don't want to talk to you, ask yourself, what have I done to warrant this? If your wife is coming near you and they are clicking their mouth without even saying a word, ask yourself, what has
happened?
This, and then communicate it out. What I would advise people is talk it out.
Thank you. Talk it out.
Talk it out.
Talk it out.
Yes.
In fact, communication has brought a lot of aggression in the family. And this also impacts on the children. What values are we
Impacting to the children.
We are staying long moments together and in an environment that is very, very unfriendly. And you can be sure this also impacts on the intimacy.
Yes.
In the family. Yes, indeed.
And it creates a place, home, a very volatile place where people would like to escape from, but there's curfew out there. Where do you go? You're trapped.
You're trapped.
In a vicious cycle.
It doesn't matter what she does or what he does. You are there.
You have to stay
oh
with
my.
me very
To take it,
Sure,
accommodate each other. Now let's hear something different from that now. About the care for the vulnerable. Care for the vulnerable. And I know we have either in the inner circle of the family, the nuclear family, or even our relatives or our dependents. How have they been?
This has also affected the value and perhaps the qualities of the care that we give to those that are vulnerable within our families.
Yes.
One, especially where we feel they are prone to being infected by the coronavirus because their immunity level is low or compromised. We fear that they are likely to infect us, we who are caregiving. On their part, they also expect that we should understand them even the more, and therefore they feel like we are becoming a burden. They are becoming a burden to us, so they get very anxious.
It is much so.
That there is no proper communication and care that they're getting here.
Yes.
So we are seeing cases where they are being neglected.
Oh dear.
because of fear of how to handle them.
Oh, yes.
The fear that their demands are excessive. That, they need excessive supply of medication.
Yes.
Not excessive, but this medicine has to be supplied for them to be able to continue with their pre-existing conditions.
Yes.
The treatment of the pre-existing conditions. But money is not available.
No.
So this, again, has brought a lot of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Another worry that we are seeing with the care of those that are vulnerable, and the vulnerable here, we are looking at the disabled, we are looking at those with existing conditions such as some chronic conditions like cancer, like HIV and AIDS.
Yes.
Like, the elderly in our midst also, that needs to be attended to regularly, to be dressed and all that.
Okay.
You fear that you might infect them because you have been going out there.
In and out.
Keep distant.
Yes.
But you don't know again how far are you going to stretch away from them.
You can't be so sure.
And show them that you are not interested in them.
And would your mother or your old father understand why you are keeping the distance? Terrible. And there he is, he needs you, he cannot get up. And he wants you to go and hold him by the hand. And you seem to be scared of him. Terrible.
Another challenge in caring for the vulnerable is that we are told that we maintain social distance. They will interpret this to be isolated and therefore feel lonely.
Exactly. You are scared of them.
Yes, loneliness sets in, and that will not help them in their pre-existing conditions. And all along, we find that the attitudes towards the entire family relationship are challenging.
It's gone cold.
Yeah. And
Yes.
in caring for the vulnerable, we are also thinking about those who are supporting family members like parents and the others away from home. And it is a lockdown time, you cannot travel home to take medication. So you have to appoint somebody who is going to look after them, a person you can trust that will be responsible and will be able to care for them effectively, and perhaps even give them the little support that you are sending them. All these issues are coming to bear on the family in thinking about them.
Terrible. Jane, do you have something to say more?
I think John has talked a lot about that area, but I'm thinking about the vulnerable who solely depend on us on issues of like food, and they are far from us. And it can be really challenging because even the person you are sending to them, how sure are you that they are releasing the funds to them?
True.
You may use somebody who is moving up and down phone to send some money.
Yes.
But you are still left with some uncertainty that did he really
Did he
deliver
really
the money? And did he really buy the food or the
What
medicine
had
for
in
my
mind.
dad or my
Yes,
mom or
yes.
for that sick person? So it creates even more fear now and anxiety even on this particular provider. I think that is...
Sako.
Yes.
Very virtuous.
Yes.
Now you're back to communicate. You are back to fear.
Yes.
Being well.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Yes,
In
John.
our culture where we are very social,
Yes.
we want, especially when our grandparents are living with us, we are trying also to restrain our children from that very close contact.
With this.
With them, and they are here with us, but our children have been playing out there. You don't want, I would hate my son to come and infect my father.
Your shosho.
Or my shosho.
Yes.
So all these complications
The
are
5-year-old would like to sit on the laps of her shosho. And here you are saying keep your distance.
we are telling
Looks
them
very, very unkind. Yes, looks very unkind, doesn't it?
situations coming.
Yeah, looks very unkind.
It looks really...
I wonder how you are dealing at it at home. We are discussing it here. How are you dealing with this situation at home? Similar problems?
Yes.
You tell us more.
I'm remembering of a clip that I was seeing of a grandmother who had gone to visit the grandchildren. And I think with the COVID-19, people have become wiser and they have invented very many interesting styles. So the son had already created a kind of a mask for her hands, such that she would get into the polythene and then hug the children from the polythene, which is even covering her face. But at least the children are hugged by the grandmother. So I believe we can still become innovative and do something because
yes, indeed.
our grandparents love our grandchildren and they really feel they want to embrace them.
And I hope they already know Oshamikono, back to back. They have learned that.
Yes.
Corona, clean your hands.
Yes.
Yes, let's do that.
Our culture may have a lot of issues in accepting those plastic separations.
Yes.
You know,
We are going
such a people.
separation now again in plastic. Oh my God. Then mikono iko na hiyo, miguu iko na hiyo, and plastic.
And plastic all over. And actually even and
Kifuniko.
that may even leave the old person wondering, am I the problem? Am I infecting my children with germs? And it might create another problem altogether for that family.
Would you remember the days where there were those fears when the parents came to towns and they had to be sprayed to kill the... We seem to be there again.
That is where we are going.
Oh no.
What a pity.
And this is a generation that will tell us, I chewed bananas for you, and therefore...
Yes.
Yes. You now are come
I've become this dirty for you. You cannot even hold my hand. You are wearing gloves to
we
hold
pray
it.
that God will make that. They have known it, they have heard it being talked about.
And that is
we
why
hope that
we are
you
here
take
to
it
educate
positively.
them.
Yes.
Because we know the viewers are listening and they have these grandparents with them, the elderly.
Yes.
Let them educate them so that when it reaches to that time when we cannot shake their hand, at least they understand that it's not because tuko na maringo ya kuishi Nairobi, but it is because the situation at hand, we are protecting them actually. It's not out of pride, but
Thank you.
it is them that we love and we are protecting.
I think we all have to do that.
Yes.
Educate the parents,
Yes.
particularly the very old ones, that we are not doing it out of contempt.
Yes,
Is the way mambo iko.
yes,
Ni ngumu na nikikukuza huenda ikawa kuna shida.
yes.
Nakupenda. Mami, bado nakupenda.
We want to live longer.
Longer. And we want to see you live longer. So don't be disappointed, Mami, and go can show. Now, let's now come to another area. When things are in that very crowded situation, what ways or what measures would you recommend as intervention measures, management of the crisis?
Perhaps starting with where we had post off with identifying some of the challenges. When it comes to dealing with those that are vulnerable in our community and in our midst in the family, one of the ways to be able to help them feel like they are useful and they are part of the family, it is important that we help them through the use of technology, perhaps communicate with the other siblings that are not with us, our brothers and sisters, their sons and daughters,
Yes.
through telephone, through
How?
the internet,
Yes.
where they can do a kind of a video conference. It makes them feel a part of the family. Rather than fill their days with boredom and suspicion,
Yes.
I am seeing, we used to have photo albums, if that technology has not disappeared.
And I'm sure many of them can also talk on the phones. You could call them, and if your brother up country has a phone, take it to mom.
Somehow let's involve them. Another way in which we can be able to involve our elderly parents, there are certain technologies that are disappearing. If they are still strong and able,
Yes.
we can teach our children and ourselves how to make yontos, how to cook traditional food. Involve them in the family,
Yes.
they feel part and parcel.
Indeed.
And their conditions are also going to lower the stress that, the stresses will lower down, and they will also feel like, oh, I'm also useful, rather than them feeling like we are being tucked aside because of what they are calling COVID-19. Make sure that you have sufficient supply of medicine and diapers and all those other medical things that are required
Necessities. Yes.
to care for them. And also that we can have people we trust who can be with them in giving them care when we are away. So
True.
for some reason we shall be able to step aside, go to the market, go and do something else. Let somebody responsible and somebody again who is not infected work with them.
And I'm sure, Jane, as a lady, you would have said much more on that management, and something we could have said a little earlier about foods for these people, and even for ourselves as well.
Yeah, food is very vital at
Mm.
this stage.
Yes.
Because nobody can survive without food.
Yes.
And majority of the elderly, mainly they need to be fed well.
Yes.
So their diet needs to be taken good care of. And so, as John said, we need to give them a good supply of the food stuff so that they will not lack at all. Then as technology is coming to change things, calling them would help a lot.
Certainly.
And we can also put a video chat with the whole family. Even if you have one family member who is locked up outside the country, we can have a Zoom meeting, all of us, so that the grandmother can be able to see the others, and she'll be happy to talk to them even though they are far from
That's a wonderful idea.
Yes. Yes.
Well, what's that?
Zoom meeting where they can all see each other, including
Conferences.
the grandchildren and all the other family members. They can have a conference, and the elderly can feel, oh, I'm well represented. And it is mainly very important that we also appreciate them. How do we show appreciation to them? Let us give them a forum where even in those Zoom meetings, they can address their grandchildren and give advice, because they really like talking to the grandchildren. So we encourage them, this is your chance now, Shosho or Guka, and now you are going to address the family. And they will feel really wanted, and they feel they belong.
Occasionally, Zoom.
Yes.
And there is also, I think,
Yes.
WhatsApp.
Yes, even.
Watch your video.
Yes.
So that at least you also can see the
Yes.
child who is away, locked down in America or someplace.
Yeah.
They need to see that, to
Yeah.
believe that they are still there. To have analog area. Let's get on to something. Yes, John, you are saying something.
Family, especially in the area of communication and relationship, it is important that we work towards quality time.
Quality time.
Set time apart so that you can be able to chat with your children, chat with your spouse, listen to one another, agree, and where you have to disagree, you may hold on the matter until such time when it is able. I mean, you're able to see from the same point of view. Resolve some of the conflicts or issues that may be coming up in your own small ways. In your own small ways, you can be able to discuss and chat and resolve some of those very small
matters.
Yes, that are besetting the family.
Yes, small matters.
And also try and build teams. Make sure that you have a strong team in your family where you can be able to allocate tasks and see them to the end.
Okay.
And people will know their role. People will know that they belong and they feel wanted in this family. And that way you shall also be able to impact values as we interact together. And also transmit culture, our own culture to our children.
Yes, exactly. Wow. So it's not, we are not come to the dead end.
Yeah.
No.
I was actually thinking about the issues of phone. With this stay-at-home period, many of the conflicts or many of the issues between couples is about the phone. And I was saying this is a God-given chance for couples and family members to communicate and learn each other. But I have realized that we are so busy and engrossed on our phone to the level that the child has a phone, the father has a phone, the mother has a phone. Could be the only person. If you're living with the grandmother, that is the only one who is only calling people on phone if she has some credit. But every other person is glued on their phone. So I was feeling, can we break this culture by communicating and talking? And this is what has brought a lot of insecurities in couples. You find the wife is wondering, what is this man doing on phone the whole day and he's not paying attention to me? Then the man is also feeling the same. What is this girl doing with the phone the whole day? She's not paying attention to me. So instead of all these quarrels, yes, and you are still very busy checking on the phone and communicating with your friends. So can we learn to also limit? Can we also learn that we have an hour, my hour for the phone and my time for my children and my family? That one will bring off those issues. Another key thing, we have a tendency, after we have felt insecure about his phone, I would say, because I'm representing the ladies today, we have men who normally don't keep their phones down. They are ever moving with it. We have had so many cases of phones that have dropped in the toilet, in the bedroom, because he has carried it with him. Why? Because there is a nosy woman in the house. So what the wife does...
That's a provocation. I think let's have a discussion on that on another day. That's a provocation. That's an attack on the masculine.
The men are defending.
We shall have a session on that, and we shall see who
wins. What
wins.
I was saying is this. I was saying that the best way for that is to stop checking on each other's phone. Can we give each other freedom? Can you allow your man to use his phone?
It is
Can we
his.
also allow you to use your phone as you want? Because each one of us need our free space. So let us give each other some free space.
I need to ask Pastor, why do that? Are there things you're hiding? Let's get on to another things. If you really don't want KIMATA to look at your phone,
Yes.
then there's something chicken.
No,
If you
definitely.
don't want Grace to look at your
there
phone,
must be.
then there's something that's
there
not
must be.
working out.
There must be.
Anyway, thank you. We shall come to that, but I think that's controversial.
Yes.
Now, is there any hope at the end of the road? Is there some silver lining in the cloud? Is there some light at the end of the tunnel? Yes. What opportunities? Is this thing all bad, nothing to learn from it?
No. Let us change our way of thinking.
Change our way of thinking.
My advice to the public and to the community is that change your way of thinking. Become positive thinkers. Out of COVID-19, people are booming in businesses. Ask yourself, which is this business that is booming at this season? Change your business and do that particular business that is working better during this period.
Had not done before.
Also something positive about it. Look at it from a positive point of view.
Yes.
You have your children now with you in the house. You have your husband whom you have not been seeing for a period in the house. You have your wife whom you've not been seeing for some time. Can you make use of this time to enhance, to bond together with your family members so that you can enhance on your relationship? You can work on the areas that you feel needed to be worked on. So let us start looking at something positive about it. Another positive thing about COVID, and now we are talking about changing our way of thinking and looking at COVID-19 with some positivity.
Yes.
Another positive thing that it has brought is that some families are saving a lot. You know, there are those families where the members are still earning a salary, but they are not going to work. And they are making money. So can we develop a culture of saving? During this period, can we save that money so that when things go back to normal, at least we will invest on a project and we can be able to remember during this period we were able to save some money. So if we are at home, those who are still earning their salaries, can they look at it positively and say, this is my time to invest, this is my time to do savings so that it can help me tomorrow. Another positive thing about it is that we are finding now our men are also cooking. They are good at it.
So cooking is positive.
And they are giving us attention in the kitchen. Initially, we used to cook alone and baking. Some of them are baking for us nice cakes and we are happy. And also now men are also eating food that is made by their wives. Because initially, wives were so busy. Wives were so busy because they are also working and they would arrive home late.
Yes.
But these days, men are happy to be served by their wives. Food is being made by the wife. And these days, most of the homes, because they may not even afford house help, their work is being done by the wife. And I believe men...
So the wife has started working again.
The wife is happy now to serve the family.
It is not the house girl now, not house girl. I like that. Now she has come out with it. So the wife who had ran away from the duties now have found their role.
No, it's not that we
I like that, John.
It's not that we were running away from it. The fact remains that we were busy elsewhere. But we have all the time to spoil our men and our children. Wow.
Then this
Welcome.
Welcome.
I think then it should go on. So then you can go on doing that.
And
I thought, John, she should have said something about the men being active in a language that you may understand. In a koheta rotere. There could be a few things here. The man had been neglected. Oh, John.
That would have spent money.
Yes.
It's being done because now that the man is around and he's seeing some things not going on right here.
Yes.
They're able to fix that.
Yes.
That fence in the compound.
The fence and all that.
Oh,
And
yes.
even some of the furniture.
And that tile up on the roof.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm telling you, our homes are looking better now. The fence is done. I mean, the fixation of those tubes and everything, and bulbs and things that were not being done. Our men, we are really appreciating.
And changing the flowers in the compound.
Yes, we are appreciating your stay at home. And for the first time, we have realized that you people, you are capable of doing so much that you don't even need to call a plumber sometimes.
Yes.
You don't even need to call
That's
the
why we are men.
electrician.
That's why we are men.
Also enhance security. That
Yes.
Now that the man is at home,
Yes.
the children feel more secure.
We are feeling secure.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
just children, even women. We like
Oh.
that security you provide in the home.
You may also have time to train your dogs.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
It has been great discussing these things. It's not the end of it. This is just one of our series. We have just come to the end of this session. But we are having more and more on these topics and a few others that are of common interest and value to all of us. Join us next week. Welcome.
And we end with a word of prayer, my brothers. It has been a pleasure working with the two men, but you have hammered me. So let us go
Pray.
before God in prayer. Our Father, we want to thank you for this wonderful session that you have given us. Lord, as we come to its closure, we want to appreciate you for giving us a chance to reach out to members of our community.
Yes, Lord.
How we pray that this program is going to help families and to build families, oh dear Lord.
Yes, Lord.
May you help us so that even next time we will have something that will help the viewers,
Yes,
so
Jesus.
that our community will become a better place to live in, and there will be no more family issues that are negative, oh God, because you will have helped us with wisdom that comes from above to be able to work on them. We thank
Yes.
you and we appreciate you, for this is our prayer of faith. In
In
Jesus'
Jesus'
name we
Amen.
say,
Amen.
Amen.